About 5 or 6 years ago, I was introduced to the concept of buyer persona. And when I first heard about it, it was marketing gobbledygook for me. It was just this marketing, feel-good, puffy heart thing I never paid attention to. And it wasn't until recently that I started paying attention to buyer personas because I realized how important it was. So for those of you that are new to marketing and sales together, but how sales marries with marketing, is buyer persona is this fictitious character that is your ideal customer or your ideal prospect. And it's all based on their age, their demographic. There's a whole bunch of things. You can find everything you wanted to know about buyer personas by doing a Google search and looking up HubSpot. The one thing that I liked about buyer personas then is that it was marketing's responsibility. The one thing I like even better now is that it's a sales and marketing responsibility, because the buyer persona is really your responsibility as a sales leader, your responsibility as the business owner, your responsibility as the head salesperson in your organization. Because if you don't identify who your ideal person or your ideal client is, you're doing what I call whack-a-mole. Whack-a-mole is you're going to throw anything that you can against the wall. You're going to have 1,000 people calling 10,000 prospects, and of course I'm exaggerating. You're going to have all these people making phone calls to anybody who has a heartbeat, a pulse, who say, sure, I'll have a meeting with you. So if you're not thinking about buying personas or buyer personas, you're basically holding yourself back from reaching that ideal client and actually getting things done. So let me give you a couple of things to think about when you're thinking about putting together buyer personas. And this is not the exact math and the exact science, but it's more the art. Is find the last 3 or 4 customers that you sold to and ask them about their lives. Are they married? Do they have children? Do they live in the city? Do they live in an urban community? Do they like sports? What's their age or their age range? You don't have to talk about politics or religion, but get to know who they are as a person. And that is the beginning of your buyer persona journey. And then ask them why they bought from you, or why did they pick your product or service. Ask them what are some of the challenges that they faced before they bought your product and service. And you're going to add that into your buyer persona. So think of buyer personas next week when you guys are back on track on Monday, as we're moving well into phase 2, and see what you come up with. If you're struggling with buyer personas and defining who your ultimate buyer is or your ideal client, send me a message. I'd like to give you some more tips. Have yourself a great day. Don't forget, live with passion. Until next time, we'll see you guys real soon.